This disclaimer out there before we get started. We have an interesting show. The views and opinions reflected on this show today does not represent the views and opinions of Acadiana Open Channel, Lafayette Consolidated Government, LUS Fiber, or Cox Communications. They are totally views of the guests and hosts of the Community Matters Show.
Yes, and we like to get our started with the prayer. So let me see, could I get the prayer warrior on?
And with that being said, we got an exciting show today. We got a special guest should be coming in a few minutes.
Good morning.
Good morning, prayer warrior. How's everything going for you this morning?
Everything's going wonderful.
Great, great, great. Well, we always like for you to get our spirit going this morning. Activated and with the wonderful prayer that you always have.
Yes, sir, and I am ready right now.
All right.
The delicious prayer of today
Okay.
says, I will always be available to you. Once you have trusted me as your Savior, I will never distance myself from you. Sometimes you may feel distant from me. Recognize that it's feeling. Do not confuse it with reality. The Bible is full of my promises to be with you as always. As I assured Jacob when he was journeying away from home into unknown places, I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go. After my resurrection, I made this promise to my followers. Surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. Let these assurances of my continual presence fill you with joy and peace. No matter what you may lose in this life, you can never lose your relationship with me. Though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken, nor my covenant of peace be removed, says the Lord, who has compassion on you. That can be found in Isaiah, verse 54, 10. One more. I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go. I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. That's Genesis 28:15.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for that beautiful word of encouragement.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to me from you guys. I appreciate you very much.
Well, have a blessed day, and we love you. And until we talk again, stay safe and be blessed.
Absolutely. I love you guys. Keith, Jay, Wallace, keep doing it. You're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you,
too.
thank you. All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Before we get in it today, I want to just say that our thoughts and prayers are still with the Goody family in the lights of Ella Goody going missing, and yesterday marked 6 months that she's been missing. I just want to say our thoughts and prayers are still with the family, and we are praying that she returns home. To get into it, we got different things in the headlines, y'all.
Yes.
With LCG, the council, as far as the budget.
Before you start that, y'all not gonna look out for the Queen? She passed on.
Also, we got to send our condolences to France, to Britain,
Yeah.
and on the loss of Queen Elizabeth.
But I got a story about that. That's something.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry.
You got something you want to say, brother?
No, we waiting for Brother Wallace to kick it in.
Well, we're waiting on Councilman District 5 to come in. He's running a little late, but he's going to be in. And I think he's at the door now.
He's going to explain some of the things that are going on. But in the headlines this morning, the council strikes Guillory proposed $250,000 in pay raises from the budget. So Guillory's administration will not be getting pay raises.
Well, when Councilman Lazar come in, we want to talk to him about why the council got to give up $100,000 to have an auditor come, and Judge Guillory's all on TV, the radio, and everything, and talking about he don't do nothing wrong, and all of this is applaud, you know, for him, because he won the election. No, the applaud is what you did. Good morning, Councilman Lazar.
Good
We
morning.
gotta say good morning to our guest this morning, Councilman Glenn Lazar, District 5 City Councilman.
Good morning and welcome. Pleasure to be here. Pardon my lateness. Apologize for that. Coming from another appointment.
You are good, good. You know, we're always flexible and you could say that, be able to move around. You know, but we're glad to have you here.
It's my pleasure.
You know, because there's some things that we've been seeing through the council.
First of all, can you hear me with the mask on? I want to make sure I'm talking loud enough.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Okay, because I have to, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Situation. Yeah.
You know, the mask don't change nothing.
We can even turn you up some more if you want.
Yeah. But he's good right there.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I hear he's good. But anyway, you know, we watched the council meeting. We haven't been going to the council meeting lately. But we see you defending your seat as a chair,
As a councilman,
As a councilman.
you know, defending your constituents, getting transparency or trying to get transparency for his constituents and the general public.
okay. Yeah. So, you know, why you guys got to pay?
Before we get into questions, Mr. Waters, let's give him a chance to introduce himself. And
Yeah.
Glenn Lazard, I think most people know who I am. Lafayette City Councilman, District 5, first term. Not sure how much, I think most people know me. I'm a native of Opelousas originally. Been back in Lafayette for 27 years, I guess. Graduate of USL and Southern University Law Center. That's about it. Always been involved, Wallace, as you know, in various community projects. It's been my life service, has been my life story pretty much. So, you know, this was just a logical next step in my progression in terms of my service to the community when I decided to run for this seat.
Yes, and you've been very successful, you know, in the seat, you know, far as that I could see.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I try.
Yes. So that's about it for your legend.
You know, we're not finished writing the story just yet. You know, we're not finished yet. So we're talking about the investigation, right?
Yes.
And I'll go and let you. You know.
Well, you know, I'm trying to find out why you guys got to pay $100,000 for an investigation on the drainage project, anything that he done did while he was, you know, in office.
Okay, so the reason for that is, well, first of all, you know, this is something that, in my opinion, is a long time coming, right? Something that's been tossed around for some time now. I know it's something that your co-host, this young man here, has been advocating for some time.
Yes, sir.
As well. And, you know, so it's a long time coming. As far as the cost is concerned, we decided it was best to hire an outside entity that had no relationship with or no connection with LCG or any of its anybody affiliated with LCG. Wanted somebody totally non-connected, independent, impartial, objective. So, you know, and we're allocating $100,000. It may not cost that much. It may cost more. We don't know. We're just going to get it started and see where it leads. We just thought it was important to put this matter to rest, and the only way to do that is to do a complete audit of all these projects, and along with some other issues, obviously, that's been brought to our attention. You know, like I said before, you know, we can't, you know, we can't ignore, just couldn't ignore any longer, you know, all of the things that's been going on, you know, with the various lawsuits. And let me say this, the local media has done a bang-up job covering this and bringing some of these things to light. You know, it's really telling that we as council members, you know, get more information from the media than we're able to get from the administration.
Correct, correct. And me and Brother Jay been putting this to light. I mean, KLFY, KTC, they the coverage on these issues, and these are major issues, the coverage on these issues are very, very, very light. Or even from this go to rehab, might see 2 minutes of it and that's it. So the general public got to go dig and
right.
find out.
But that's the television media, okay?
Yeah, the television.
The television media. But I will say this though, the print media.
Oh, yeah.
The print media.
The current.
The current is right at the forefront of this, right?
Correct.
And recently, Andrew Cat, Daily Advertiser, has done a wonderful job.
Correct.
You know, kind of tying it all together and wrapping it up in a pretty little neat package for us, right? For the community.
Correct.
So is the advocate. So, you know, certainly the coverage from the television media leaves a lot to be desired.
And I got to give it to News 15, because News 15 been covering it.
But the print media
is doing a fantastic job. It's really
Right.
Yeah.
They tying it all up
Yeah,
the way it should be on paper.
The print media. You know, I think that you know, Leslie Turk, you know, Jeff Matter, and you know. And Jeff Daly at the Current. I mean, and the Current, you have to understand that because the Current is independent, right?
correct.
They don't have any corporate bigwigs looking over their shoulders, telling them what they can and can't print, or can or can't cover. So that's the importance of having independent local media.
Okay.
You know, every now and then I catch him on the radio.
Who?
Josh
K-Pal.
And I'll catch him on the radio
Cal Ross.
and listen to what he be saying.
And then to clear the air, because I wanna put this out there. Since before the council started talking about investigations, before the rehab, us in the north side, I'm gonna say the north side community, and really not just the north side community, because you had other people from other communities coming out too, and bringing these things out that had issues, and saying that the administration, this is the first administration that refuses to be transparent with the constituents. I just want to say, Mr. Lazar, you're one of the spearheads of this, and I want to give you a chance to let the community to respond on this is a political plot against the mayor, and your constituents are bringing it up because we lost the election, and which is not true.
You know, my response to that would be, you know, I call that an attempt to deflect from what the true issues are. Okay, that it's political theater and, you know, and all these other terms that he used to describe, you know, what we're doing. It's nothing more than a veiled attempt to deflect from what the true issues are, and to try to get the public to focus on something else other than what the true issues are.
Don't that sound like a MAGA logo?
Which?
MAGA crowd did.
Which are, you know, and look, there's an old saying, gentlemen, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And I mean, there's smoke all over the place, right? So there's a fire somewhere.
Yes.
So that would be my response to that, Keith. That is nothing more than a veiled attempt to deflect, to distract the public from what the true issues are, and we know what they are. You know, the public's not crazy. We know that there are some issues. We know that there are some problems. And look, I don't know what the outcome of this audit and investigation is going to reveal. Okay, we can't predict that. You know, but we have to get some answers.
Correct.
That's the bottom line. We have to get some answers.
And
he's left us no choice but to go this route. Now the funny thing about that is, way back in June when we made this initial request for this information, right? He himself recommended that we do an independent audit. He recommended it, so he can't have it both ways. He can't on the one hand say, I'm glad y'all taking me up on my offer, but at the same time, it's political theater and a witch hunt, and the city shouldn't pay for it.
correct.
That's an inherent contradiction.
But he could allocate monies where he wanted it going, and the money that he's allocating, as far as I'm concerned, is way over the amount that he should be allocating.
Well, one of the comments that that Council Chair Nanette Cook made the other day when that issue was raised, that $100,000, which we may not even get to, we don't know yet, but even in the event that we exhaust that whole $100,000, that's still less than 0.1% of the total amount that we are looking at that's involved.
Correct.
So, you know what I mean, and really, that's what the city's general fund exists for. Okay, the comment that myself and the council chair that we should pay for this since we're the one that's instigating it. Now, you know, there's some things I can say about that, but I'm gonna save that for a later date.
I'm gonna say this. I'm glad you brought it up. I'm gonna say this. The charter, which I posted it up on my personal Facebook page. That section of the charter gives y'all the right to investigate and to spend whatever it costs to investigate, you know, and
I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's why I said it's really hypocritical to, on the one hand, say you want us to do an audit, and then come back on the flip side and say, why y'all doing it and the city shouldn't pay for it? How else is it going to be paid for if we don't pay for it out of the city's general fund? So he made the comment, and I just want to get this in, Keith. He made the comment that he wished we'd find another way to pay for it. I don't know.
No, but he wants to clown you guys, talk about, y'all come in, give up some of y'all pay, and y'all come in and do this and do that.
Take that 30,
Take our $30,000 year salary and pay for it since we only work 3 hours a week, 3 hours a month, I'm sorry.
correct.
Well, if that's the case, then the city owes me a hell of a lot of overtime, pardon my language.
But he could have security everywhere he go. Why don't he pay for that? I'm pretty sure the city is paying for his
To
security.
detail.
Yeah, so why he can't pay for that out of his paycheck?
And one of the projects that was on that question list, well, several of them, is in litigation.
There are actually 3 of them in litigation.
In litigation. One, the judge halted on April 6th, and yet he still continues today to continue that project, and it jeopardizes $22 million for a detention project.
Well, the $22 million you're talking about, that's in jeopardy. That's a combination of the St. Martin project, the small bank removal, where proper application was not made with the state in advance of the project. That's $1.5 million. The balance comes from the Homewood project. Now, we did receive a $19 million reimbursement from the state early on, but the balance might be 20 point something million is being held up because LCG has not submitted information that the state needs to properly evaluate the request for reimbursement. So yes, that's problematic to say the least. So there's some confusion as to whether or not, as to what the state's actually requesting. But the fact of the matter is, the state's rules are set. Okay, they are set. They are clear. They are concise as to what's needed, the required information to get the requested reimbursement. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Correct. And then just another story that's just hit the headlines. And maybe you can elaborate on that.
I'll try.
And I think this had been proposed in throughout the administrations we ever had. Council Stripes Galleries proposed $250,000 in pay raises from the budget.
Yeah. Those were the pay raises that range anywhere from $5,000 to, I think, $32,000 or something like that. That range for all high-level administrators, if you will. Certainly, I've been opposed to that from the time it was originally introduced, and I think my position's always been that that there was no way that I could support that. When we have rank and file employees, many of them have to work 2 jobs just to make ends meet. We just gave an across-the-board 2% pay raise to all employees, several months ago, and no, there was no way that I could support that, and it failed last night. It was unanimous, really. It was unanimous. So. There was one objection that had been filed to it early on by City Councilman Andy Nakane, and he withdrew his objection last night. We had some conversations about it, and even he realized that it wasn't fair, it wasn't appropriate, and it wasn't the right thing to do at this time. So, that's that.
I mean, you had, and then at the I don't know if it was on the council's agenda. A regular meeting, and one of the regular employees, went up there and spoke and said that he didn't support those raises because regular employees like them get a 2% pay raise, and the top level get 2% on top of what he was proposing.
So,
Yeah.
but the thing of it is, when we go to this meeting, you know, it seems like some of the things that shouldn't even be talked about is being talked about. You know, for instance, seems like nobody want to talk about us having our own self-mayor, our own self-chief of police, you know. And if possible, during the audit, maybe we could find out why we don't have a chief of police now.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back and make sure I come back with the right information on that, but I think it has something to do with our structure of government, okay?
For the mayor?
No, for the chief of police. For the
Yeah,
chief of police, I think it has something to do with our structure of our government and the population.
Yeah, the chief of police position in the charter, it is not elected, it's appointed. In order, now, the parish council would have to
No, not
agree.
for the chief of police. Chief of police is strictly city, but because we have a consolidated government.
Yeah.
So it has to do with our structure of government.
You would have to change.
And you'd have to change the charter.
Charter, yeah.
It has to do with our structure of government and something to do with the population. Cities with a certain size
Most
population.
of them have appointed chiefs.
Yeah.
Now, you
exactly.
can, now, if the people petition and get the votes needed to change the charter, you could change to an elected chief of police and
Elected mayor.
and the mayor.
So let me address the mayor part first, okay? So that's something that I have been advocating for, as y'all know, that's something I've been advocating for forever.
Yeah.
Right? You know, that's nothing new to me, right? I don't think it's grossly unfair, you know, that the city of Lafayette does not have its own mayor, and the way I position it is such, right? Why shouldn't a child growing up in the city of Lafayette, and this is not a black, white, north, south issue, okay? They should have, I don't care if it's a child growing up in Macomb or a child growing up in River Ranch, if it's a child growing up in Oakbourne, or a child growing up in Fightonville, or Truman, that child should be to have the same dreams and visions as a child growing up in any other municipality.
Correct.
But you know, but that's not a realistic dream for them at this point. And to me, that's not fair. And to me, it's a matter of fundamental due process.
Correct.
Okay, so, but as Keith stated, there are two ways to accomplish that. One is to get a majority vote of both councils to call for a charter commission. And I can tell you that if I attempted to do that today,
It's impossible.
it's literally impossible. It would fall flat on its face, okay? I don't think I'd get a majority vote of the city council.
Well, that's what fits the charter guy.
Well, no, I respectfully disagree. You know, but I don't think that there would be a majority vote of even the city council. And we know the parish council's not. So the only way to do it is via petition, right? Start a petition. I think last time I checked, it's like 12,000 signatures. Don't quote me on that number.
About 10.
But yeah, but we always go above, you know, to allow some room for error, right? So
Correct.
So if it says 10, I would shoot for 11 to 12. You know, so that's the only realistic option at this point to accomplish that.
Well, you see, when before Fix the Charter came around, we had 4 parish, 5 cities, you know, and look like we got more done with the 5-4 than we're getting done with the 5-5.
Now I can tell you, even when they had that 5-4, when they was currently doing the charter to where you splitting the city and the parish council. You had Andy eBay. A lot of citizens, even you, showed up to ask that the city parish council at the time to add the mayor's position into it on the ballot, but the 5 city councilmen couldn't agree at that time to put a mayor. They just split the city and parish, the city parish council.
The way you did it.
So, and that's the point I was trying to make, that even then, you didn't have the kind of cooperation you would have needed to bring it forth. Even under the former consolidated government, you still didn't have. And the other risk, Wallace, with that we were facing with the consolidated government before the split was the population shifts. So we were fast approaching a point, and we may very well be there at this point with the most recent census, where a vast majority of residents in the parish of Lafayette were non-residents of the city of Lafayette.
Correct.
So you have a situation now where, if we did another census, there's no doubt in my mind, if we did another census in 2025, and we may very well be at that point already, where a vast majority of residents, are non-residents of the city of Lafayette. So you have a majority of non-residents electing the mayor of the city of Lafayette.
Correct.
And that's problematic, very problematic, and I question whether it's even constitutional.
Tell you the truth, I would like to see Lafayette have his own parish president.
Well, its own mayor, the city.
Lafayette, but the city parish of Lafayette should have their own parish president.
No, not city parish.
Just the parish.
Because if you're going that way,
Just the parish.
the parish have a parish president,
Just the parish.
and the city have a mayor.
Yeah.
Not together.
Not together. Not together.
Two separate persons.
Not together. And that's, so somebody asked me to say, well, how would that work? It would work the same way it worked over 100 years before you did consolidation.
And it works just like it works in the parish.
It would work the same way it's working in St. Martin Parish, Iberia Parish, St. Landry Parish, and everywhere else. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, and then
Right about that.
I really wanted to. I studied the charter, but I really wanted to find out the structure of governments we had before the 1996 consolidation. And you don't hear too many people talk about it, but
Police jury.
the city of Lafayette, they had police jury, but the city and parish of Lafayette then had 5 different, or maybe 10 different structure of government before this consolidation came through in 1983. 1983. You had a city parish council at one time, but it was a 12-member. It was a 12-member council and police jury at that time, and they was together. Before that, you had you just before that in I think it was 67. You had board of trustee where the mayor was one of those trustees, and then right after that they changed to a city parish police jury. It was like 12 members. Then they came in with this consolidation.
So can I add something to that? One of the things that kind of gets lost in the shuffle when we talk about consolidation versus deconsolidation and all that. One of the things that get lost in the shuffle is the fact that the city of Lafayette is still its own separate legal entity.
Correct.
And that kind of gets lost in the discussion about consolidation and what have you. Because, you know, a lot of people are of the false perception that the city of Lafayette really doesn't exist.
Yeah, it exists.
You know, no, I'm saying, but that's a false
That's
narrative.
you give.
That's a false narrative that a lot of people have come to believe. So the city of Lafayette, you know, is still its own separate legal entity, like Karen Crow, Broussard, Youngsville, and Scott is. So really, what you did basically was you just merged. You know,
The administration.
merge
The governing
operations.
body.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
merge operations and governing bodies.
The city of
You
Lafayette
did.
and
So,
you merge the city and parish merged together. Not the other municipalities, just the city, and you could say the unincorporated area.
yeah,
merged
yeah.
together.
So, and that's the other thing. So when people talk about the parish, right? There are two different scenarios that are presented, okay? One is the unincorporated areas unto themselves. The other is the totality of Lafayette Parish, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So a lot of times people use that terminology interchangeably, right? But it makes a difference,
Right,
you
right.
know, because everybody talk about, you know, the city is in the parish.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Now, as far as the consolidation, there's 4 other municipalities that's consolidated. I think it's Terrebonne,
East Baton Rouge.
East Baton Rouge, and New Orleans.
Well,
Orleans.
but keep in mind that the city of Orleans composes the entire
The
parish.
entire parish.
The city of New
correct.
Orleans composes the entire parish of Orleans.
Yeah, that's
right?
where I'm going.
Yeah, so,
And Terrebonne,
home of Terrebonne.
home is the only city in Terrebonne.
No, there are some other
Others-
there's some other smaller
yeah,
municipalities in Terrebonne.
But they're fully consolidated.
Okay.
And Lafayette, Lafayette we're not fully consolidated. We're partially consolidated. So that's what makes it unfair. If you wanna if we wanna be fair, let's just say all the other municipalities give up their government and we just have one parish government.
But you know, you have the same thing in East Baton Rouge Parish as well, okay? Because you do have other municipalities in East Baton Rouge Parish that aren't part of consolidation.
Yeah.
You got Baker, Zachary, Central.
Zachary, yeah,
right,
but
that have their own mayors and councils.
I think East Baton Rouge,
So-
annexed it, a great portion of
Well,
the parish, and the citizens in where the consolidation happened overrides those other little.
actually, no, because actually, Central was the newest city that was formed in East Baton Rouge Parish. So you have Baker, Zachary, Central now. They're trying to form a new city
Okay.
in East Baton Rouge Parish. And that's been tied up in litigation now for probably some 10 years or so. So they're trying to actually break away an area in South Baton Rouge Parish around the Blue Bonnet, Essence, what is it again? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank with the name.
Correct.
But that's been in litigation now for about 10 years or so. And that's tied to them wanting to have their own school system.
Okay.
So that was really the impetus for the new city of Central when it was formed. It was for them to have their own school system. Because I think there's a state law that says you can only have an independent school system if you have your own municipality. No, I'm not probably not using the right language, but but that's basically the thrust of it.
Do you have any questions?
Well, not really, but I know what you're talking about when you were saying in East Baton Rouge Parish. And most of these things, and that's just my opinion, not to take away from your show, that's politically motivated situation. It's like the reverse of over here. Some people who dominate, who live south side of the parish, they want to dominate the infrastructure of Lafayette because it's economic based. And in Baton Rouge, the political makeup of these conservatives, they want to get away from the predominantly run, say, governmental body of East Baton Rouge or City of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, but you know, but the funny thing about the Baton Rouge thing is, when all this came about, you got a lot of those areas, especially in the medical center corridor, Essen, Bluebonnet, the Mall of Louisiana, which is the largest mall in the state of Louisiana. A lot of those areas petitioned to be annexed into the city of Baton Rouge,
right?
Because they wanted to make sure that they were able to continue to receive city services that the city of Baton Rouge provided. And there were a lot of unknowns about what the makeup of this new city, this new municipality would be. Like most of them, you know, that's the medical district in the Essen Bluebonnet area. Lake Baton Rouge General, Ochsner, all those major hospitals, they've created a medical district there. So they petitioned to be annexed. So did the Mall of Louisiana and all the surrounding commercial areas. They actually petitioned to be annexed into the city of Baton Rouge to ensure stability.
Correct.
You know, so.
But, you know, this is the problem we have in here. They got a lot of the cities that don't want to index with us.
Well, you got a lot of the unincorporated areas, and that's one of the things that's been at issue. You know, if you look at how the city of Lafayette has expanded versus Youngsville and Broussard, for example, the city of Lafayette has lost some major ground. And a large part of that, in my opinion, and you know, my opinion, like I say.
Give somebody else your opinion and they might agree with you.
So a large part of that, in my opinion, has to do with the fact that the city of Lafayette doesn't have that one person that speaks only for the city of Lafayette.
Correct.
Like every other municipality has.
And that's why we need our own man.
That's
Now let's
that's the whole point.
Yeah.
let's go to the allocation formula. The city of Lafayette pays 80% of the joint services, correct? Of the joint, whatever it costs jointly.
Those joint departments, right?
And the parish council pays 20%. So the narrative is that the city money is not spent on parish things. I mean, a portion of that 80% is being spent in the parish, right?
So some of those things, and I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? This is my third year on the council, and I have not quite figured out, and we've had these multiple conversations, right, about how you come up with that formula, how you come up with that figure, okay? And it's changed from administration to administration, okay? That was one formula used in the Walter Comer administration. That was another formula used during the Joy Durrell administration. That was another formula used during the Robideau administration. So, there's really been no set standard, if you will, as to what that allocation should be. So, you know, I've made some requests that we start doing a better job of tracking like service requests and things of that nature to determine if that is partially accurate. Okay, that's being used, right? Now there are some things, for example, drainage obviously has been at the forefront of all this, right? So there's actually a parish-wide drainage tax that everybody pays.
Correct.
That every residence of the Lafayette Parish pays.
Correct.
I don't care if you live in the city of Lafayette, the city of Broussard, or in incorporated areas. Everybody pays that. So that basically is the primary source of revenue for the drainage department, right? Everybody pays that. So it bounces back and forth, to be honest with you. If you asking me if it's fair, in all honesty, I really can't say if it is or it isn't, because I haven't seen the, trying to measure the formula and the numbers and all that. Somebody say it should be 50-50.
Correct.
But I know for a fact that there are certain departments where the vast majority of the work is spent on city issues. So it's kind of hard, so it shouldn't be the same for all departments. I will say that, okay?
Correct.
One size doesn't fit all. All right, it shouldn't be the same for all departments. So it's a question of, it's really just, digging deep into the numbers and finding some kind of verifiable proof or a way to accurately determine what it should or shouldn't be. But I can tell you that it's an ongoing discussion and conversation, and it may very well pop up being something different next year.
Correct.
And the thing of it is, when Josh Gary ran, he ran would do more with less.
More with less.
If you don't mind if I have a question for time winding down a little bit, I want to just get this in. And that city was St. George. We forgot about all the controversy.
That's it.
Dealing with race also.
That's it. Oh, definitely, because if you look at the population of that area, it's clear.
Yeah.
Right? St. George, as a matter of fact, you already have the St. George Volunteer Fire Department.
Right.
So yes, it's St. George. It's an area that's carved out basically south and east of the 10-12 split.
Well, and the thing I want to ask Councilman Lazar, I don't know if that would cover him being city council representative. You heard last night the LUS announced a recent
Yeah, that's a city. That's strictly city.
Okay, your opinion on that? Because we know we got a lot of people who are worried about the rates.
The rate increase?
That's strictly city. So
I think you're offering an amendment to kind of.
Well, that was an initial proposal. So the big thing, and to be honest with you, the major hike would have been in the electric rates, right? So there is also a hike in the water and sewer rates, but the major issue concerned the electric rates because of the cost of fuel nowadays. So we decided to put off the raise in electricity rates until next year. And hopefully by then fuel prices will have stabilized and people wouldn't be taking as big a hit. So yes, I did vote for that increase. And the reason I voted for it is real simple, okay? We have a system that's 125 years old, okay?
Correct.
And it requires constant upkeep and maintenance. We have a lot of deferred maintenance issues that need to be addressed. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it publicly. I have the utmost confidence in Jeff Stewart, the new LUS director.
Okay.
The utmost confidence in Jeff Stewart. And I don't know all of the managers at LUS, but I know some of them. And I will say this: hiring Jeff Stewart as the LUS director It's one of the best decisions I think that we've made
Correct.
since we've been on the council, and I will publicly.
Okay?
So,
I take your word for it.
so,
Yeah.
sort of,
Until I find out
so you find out differently. That's fair. That's fair game, okay?
Yeah.
But the big thing, so you know, the other thing is, there are a lot of EPA regulations, Environmental Protection Agency regulations that pertain to clean water discharge and what have you.
Correct.
And because we discharge into the Vermilion River, you know, there are actually some added, more stringent requirements that we have to meet. So it's constant update and maintenance on the facilities.
Yes, sir.
So that's why I didn't have a problem with it. I thought if I didn't think it was absolutely essential and necessary, I would not have
I know
supported
you wouldn't
it.
have a problem.
Okay,
And no,
You got 1 minute to close.
Yeah,
Anything you want to tell
to-
the listeners?
no, we got 3 minutes.
This is your
3
show.
minutes.
oh, well, we got 3 minutes.
This is your show.
Yeah, well,
So,
no, I was getting ready to tell him he had a minute. And I got 2 minutes.
Well, you go ahead, I'm good.
know,
I would simply say, thanks for having me. I'm glad y'all finally worked y'all way down to me.
yeah.
I know y'all had a lot more important people before me that y'all had to
No,
get to
no,
before
no,
me.
no,
And all our guests is important, regardless how it goes.
No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here. I have the utmost respect for y'all and what y'all are doing. And if you don't mind, I want to put in a personal plug for this young man here.
Yes, sir.
You know, I am just so proud of him and how he has grown. And I don't mean that to be condescending, Keith.
Yes, sir.
To how he has grown over the past 2 years since he initially came on the scene.
Yeah.
And he will tell you that he and I had some conversation
Yes, sir.
when he first started coming to the council meetings. And, you know, I am just, and this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Okay, it's what it's all about. He's taken the time to study and learn not only the issues, but the system.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
And I couldn't, I'd be remiss if I didn't get that in.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
You
thank you, Mr. Lazar, and I gotta commend you too, cause at first it was kind of shady. Everybody was, the city council ain't got no voice, but I see now y'all really doing things, and now it lets us know that y'all was listening to us, you know. When we was going up there making statements, at the time probably y'all wasn't responding, but now we know y'all was listening.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes, you know, and kind of setting the table, if you will.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know, I want to thank you guys for allowing us in your home, in your heart, you know, and in your ears. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, because we enjoyed bringing it to you. Councilman Lazar, appreciate you.
Thank you for coming in, being our guest, Councilman Lazar. Thank y'all for tuning in on
Brother
today.
Jay, appreciate you as always.
Hmm?
I swear. It doesn't.
I think it's got like a little 5 second.
Yeah, it got a little,
a lag.
we out anyway, so that's being recorded. I don't know what it's happening. I really don't know. They change the system all the time. We out.
You got it.